Good morning, everyone. I am Vibha Lanka from Niskayuna High School in Albany, New York. I would like to talk about racial disparities and outcomes from cutaneous melanoma. Cutaneous melanoma is a malignant tumor originating from melanocytes derived from the neural crest. Cutaneous melanoma accounts for approximately 65% of all skin cancer deaths, despite representing only about 3% of skin cancers. Early detection of melanoma is associated with survival rates greater than 90%. There are racial disparities in diagnosis and outcomes, which may result from differences in healthcare access, delayed diagnosis, or tumor biology. The images below show skin cells and a stain that shows the invasive melanoma. The objective of this study is to evaluate the stage of diagnosis, survival outcomes, mutation burden, Breslow depth, and ulceration in cutaneous melanoma among different races to identify potential disparities. We used cBioPortal platform using the Cancer Genome Atlas Firehose Legacy dataset as our data source. Our study cohort included 447 patients with cutaneous melanoma. The racial groups we analyzed included 454 white patients, 12 Asian patients, and 1 African American patient. The bioinformatic analyses evaluated overall survival, mutation count, Breslow depth, and tumor ulceration. The Kaplan-Meier survival analysis was used to compare median overall survival between racial groups. Our statistical significance threshold was set at p less than 0.05. The 12 Asian patients had a median overall survival of 20.89 months. The 437 white patients had a median overall survival of 80.62 months. The difference in survival was statistically significant, with p being less than 0.001. The Kaplan-Meier survival analysis demonstrated significant differences in overall survival between white and Asian patients. The graph represents the difference in the median overall survival based on race. White patients demonstrated 298 mutations among 454 samples. Asian patients demonstrated 53 mutations among 12 samples. No mutations were identified in the single African American patient. The differences were statistically significant, with p equaling 4.934 times 10 to the power of negative 5. The mutation burden differed significantly by race. The graph represents the difference in the mutation count based on race. The median Breslow depth was significantly greater in Asian patients with a depth of 10 millimeters compared with white patients with a depth of 3 millimeters. The difference in Breslow depth was statistically significant, with p equaling 2.049 times 10 to the power of negative 3. Primary melanoma ulceration was present in 83.3% of Asian patients, compared with 34.6% of white patients. Ulceration differences were statistically significant, with p equaling 7.810 times 10 to the power of negative 3. The graph represents the difference in ulceration rate based on race. Asian patients demonstrated significantly worse overall survival compared with white patients. Asian patients had lower mutation burden but more advanced tumor characteristics. Greater vessel depth and increased ulceration suggest later stage diagnosis in Asian patients. These findings suggest that factors beyond mutation may contribute to racial disparities in melanoma outcomes. Asian patients with cutaneous melanoma had shorter survival, greater vessel depth, and increased tumor ulceration compared with white patients. The mutation burden was lower in Asian patients, suggesting that non-genetic factors may contribute to worse outcomes. Earlier detection and targeted interventions may improve outcomes in underrepresented racial groups. The study highlights the importance of addressing disparities in melanoma screening and care. Some of our limitations include the very small sample size for Asian and African American groups. We had only one African American patient in this study. As it is a retrospective dataset, the analysis may introduce selection bias. Our future directions include expanding the analysis using larger and more racially diverse cohorts, investigating socioeconomic and healthcare access factors contributing to delayed diagnosis, and exploring genomic and molecular pathways associated with melanoma disparities. We acknowledge the Cancer Genome Atlas, C-Bioportal for Cancer Genomics, Caitlin Smith from University of Pennsylvania, the patients whose data contributed to this research. Thank you. If you have any questions, you may send them to my email.